The impossible dream made possible by the greatest British manager ever.
Hello everyone from wherever you are. This is Trafford Zulwe and my name is Sulwe Jawar. Welcome to our channel. Today we discuss what next for Man United now that the transfer window has been closed and we didn't get a midfielder. There are some who complain that we didn't get a midfielder. There are some who say that we signed a goalkeeper who is inexperienced and we should have gone for more experienced Emi Martinez, but now that the window is closed, we need to move forward. We need to see how the season pans out up to at least January, where we can do some stopgap measures and we can plug in some players. But between now and January, or now and the end of the season, what's next? What's next for this Rúben Amorim team? Not signing a midfielder was stupid, according to me. And even though not signing Baleba may have been unrealistic, but we can say that towards the end of the season we were linked to Conor Gallagher. We should have looked at Conor Gallagher earlier instead of waiting until the end of the window and then we get to rush and try to do signings here and there just during that end of the transfer window, which is very hard for the selling club and very hard for you who are trying to buy, because during the negotiation you can be handicapped because the selling club knows that you are in desperation to get the player, and so they can do whatever they want. So not signing a midfielder was stupid, was a miss, and it's something that is going to affect us moving forward, because now we've only got Casemiro and Bruno and Ugarte and Maino, who to some extent the latter the Amorim seems not to trust them so much for midfielders up to January. In any case, one of them get injured, then we are in deep problems. So 3 things need to happen according to me between now and the rest of the season, or between now up to January. One is now Amorim need to coach his way out of this. He needs just to get to coach these players out of this situation. I don't know how he's going to do it, but that's the first thing that he needs to do between now and January, and hope that there are no injuries between now and January. No injuries for Bruno or Casemiro, because it seems that those are his first choices. It means that we got to see Bruno and Casemiro for the rest of the season. It worries me a lot, but it is what it is. Since we didn't get a signing, that's what needs to happen. Another thing, I think it needs to tweak now this system. People say about he need to change the system. No, he doesn't need to change the system. He just needs to adapt the system. For me, the biggest adaptation needs to come from the wing backs. The wing backs now don't only need to provide the width, but also they need to play closer to Casemiro and Bruno, so that they can provide cover, because we know Casemiro is very indisciplined positionally. He drifts way out of position each and every time. And for us not to get overrun in the midfield, like we did with Fulham, when the Fulham midfielders and the Wobbies dropped deep and they could not be picked by the centre backs. Now this is where the wing backs now need to come in and do more of a defensive role, or a different role from the one that they've been doing of providing the width for the team, because we don't have wingers, which means the wing backs are the providers of width. At least now we need to play with minimum width, not maximum width. They don't need to hug the touchline. They need to come closer and play at least closer to the midfielders so that they can provide cover for the positionally indisciplined Bruno. And Casemiro on the other side doesn't have the legs to cover those large spaces that normally we get exposed to when Bruno goes, and then there's this big gap in the midfield and Casemiro is isolated. The wingers now need to play closer to him and provide width when need be when the ball is on the opposite side. So when the ball is on the right, maybe the right wing back provides the width, and when the ball is on the right side, the left winger provides the width. But because each and every time they cannot be providing the width, they need to tuck in, stay closer to these midfielders. And now between the two center backs, the two left-sided and right-sided center backs, one need to be more aggressive than usual. He needs to step. If the midfielders, if the number 10 or whoever drops deep to provide overloads, we need to sacrifice one of those left center backs or right center backs, especially Lenior, who is aggressive and fast and quick and strong, needs to be a bit aggressive and step into that midfield and so that we don't get overrun in the midfield or get overloaded into the midfield. Again, the next point is the Mino dilemma. Mino is one of the best talents to ever come out of Carrington in the recent past. I mean, he needs to get to a point where he can play into this midfield. I don't know how, but I believe that he needs to get himself into this midfield. Forget about him wanting loan and game time. If he can't get to this squad, if he can't dislodge Bruno or Casemiro in this midfield, then I think also we need to question the mentality or the ability of Maino going forward. I think he needs to get playing time. I think he is exciting. I think he can still dislodge one of them, either Bruno or Casemiro. For me, if you ask me, I think he can dislodge Casemiro. I know they say he's not quick enough and he's not a good tackler, but I think if we get Lenioro to be aggressive and we get whoever is playing as a right wing back to play closer to him, he will not have to cover a lot of ground, and if he just gets to be positionally disciplined and stay into the position and get these two, the right center back and the right wing back, to play a bit closer to him, I think he can play the role better because he is good with, again, the two midfielders. We need one who can progress the ball, and Mino can do that. And as long as we can get a way of making sure that it doesn't get exposed and there are no big spaces around him, I think he can get the job done. The third point, which is survival, we just need to survive. That's another thing. What's next is just we need to survive to January. We need to survive to January, and then we see on what will happen into that transfer window. Another option maybe is to get an academy player who I don't think there's anybody ready now to plug in. If we can get Bruno into this mix now, I don't think there's any academy player we can get to help us sort this midfield. Maeseko Kone might be exciting, but is he ready? I don't think so. I don't think also it's good to get academy player straight into this mess and hope that he can get us into this trouble, because that's what we did with Garnacho and Mino, and we can see how it ended up. That's what we did even with Hoyland. Hoyland was not ready to lead the line for Man United, but we brought him, we chucked him into the squad, and we had high expectation with him, and we banned him, and now we needed to shift him out of the squad. And as much as I'm not a fan of how it turns out for Bruno, for Maino and Hoyland and Garnacho. As at some point we thought these are the future, and we needed to to build a squad around them. Another thing we need to do going forward is just we need to get our forward line clicking and being clinical with the chances. We just need to score the opponent in a nutshell. We need to get to a point where we can score 3 goals, 4 goals, and if we concede the other side, we just need to outscore the opponent. We need to outscore our way out of the situation. If they score 2, we score 3. If they score 4, we score 5. We just need to get clinical, score as many goals as possible, and hope that we can, because we also have a goalkeeping issue. So the only way maybe we get also to solve this problem of goalkeeper, because the Lamens is also young, and if we say we just need to throw him into the deep end and hope that he's gonna get out of this mess, then also I think we are lying to ourselves. So one of the things we need to do is just to outscore the opponent. It's very hard, it's not easy, but again, that's what Liverpool have been doing that's what Liverpool did with Bournemouth, and they also did with the Newcastle. Scoring more goals helped them win the matches. If they didn't get to score the goals, I don't think they would have won the first 2 previous matches. So Ineos' priority also they need to prioritize on the midfielder. I think they need to work on it now. If they are to sign Baleva, then they need to get to a point where they have everything in check, so that maybe in January or during the summer they can go for Baleba and they get him. But what happens between now and January? If they have midfielders line up, stopgap measures or whatever it is, they need to work on them now. They need to agree on the transfers now. They need to get the club to agree now and everything, so that in January it just be formalities. We need the coach to adapt the squad, get these roles of wing backs and then the wide centre backs to be at least adaptive to help us solve this midfield issue. And I think because there are no more excuses. I mean, you've seen what's happening. The pundits have already drawn their daggers, and the media is on his neck, and Jim Carragher saying that he's only a Man United coach because of how he looks. I mean, that's the most stupid analysis I've ever had. But it's Manchester United, and people need to be relevant and need to say anything they can say. To stay relevant, they need to say anything they can say, so that we cannot even remember how bad they were during their playing careers. They suddenly become wise, and they suddenly know how to analyze everything about Man United, and they've suddenly been these clever and tactical geniuses, and need to tell us who need to be our coach and everything. And I think it's bad, but it is what it is. It is what it is to be a Man United coach. It is what it is to be a Man United player. The pressure is different from this hated, adored, and never ignored. That's the motto, and that's what's happened for Man United. And I think that's what's need to happen between now and the rest of the season. So what do you think? What do we need to do? What do Amorim need to do? How does he need to adapt? Who needs to step up in terms of the players we have? Is it the right centre backs? Is it the midfielders? Is it the strikers who need just to outrageously outperform their scoring metrics? Talk to me on the comment section. Tell me what you think. And I see you in the next video. If you think this is good enough, if you want to see more of this, I mean, we don't need to complain. We don't need to whine and complain for everything. We need to rely on the hope that good days are coming. And if you believe good days are coming, hit the notification button, hit subscribe, tell a friend, share this video widely. And let's meet on the comment section, let's meet on the socials, and let's discuss what's next for Man United. Let's hope drive us forward, and let's build this community. And I promise you, I'll do my best. I'll do my best to provide you with hope, with solutions to the problems we are facing in terms of a Manchester United fan. Thank you, and see you on the next video. Bye bye.